Good morning, everyone. We'll try that again. Welcome to our City Council workshop. We're happy to have you here. Workshop is a time for council to receive presentations, ask questions about today's agenda, have some executive session items, and to discuss any agenda items that we need more time to talk about before our 10 o'clock meeting. Today, I would ask if you would please silence your cell phones. And today, we're going to start off with what is called Chapter 21, Utilities Amendment Discussion. And Jeremy Roof and John Johnson are here to walk us through this. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Do I use this? Okay. Pretty sure I use it. Oh, it works good. All right, good morning. We come before you today in response to an initiative that council mentioned during budget retreat, and that is to review and edit some of our old and outdated ordinances. We all know that we have a lot of those, and so we're starting to go through those with a fine-tooth comb. The ordinance amendments that we are proposing are to the water and sewer ordinance. Conceptually, this will bring our aging and out-of-date ordinance and bring it up to date. With this, there are a few changes that we would like to propose as well. A summary of the changes are these. We're going to do some edits to 21.1 to 21.9, and the bulk of the language allows for all charges and fees to be referred to in the annual budget ordinance, which means that we would not have to continuously update our ordinance on an annual basis whenever there is a fee or charge that gets updated. We're going to have some total clarity in connection fees, impact fees, and tap charges. These terms were used interchangeably in the past, and now they're more clear and concise. There's going to be a request to council to eliminate something called deposit interest. I'll go through what that is and how it works. This is going to be based on facts and figures to help support the argument. And finally, there's an edit to 2110 to better clarify the appeal process when it comes to a water and sewer bill. Our current process is really vague. It's very unclear, and it's old, and it needs some more clarity. So I'm going to have John start off, and I'll use the clicker. John, take it away.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Basically, on the Chapter 21 utility ordinance, we want to change some of the terminology, some of the definitions related to water and sewer connections and fees. So basically, we want to remove the definition tap charge and replace with the term utility connection charge. Of course, this will be the fee associated with the physical connection to the water and sewer systems. Also, we want to replace the term connection fee with the term impact fee. This term is used for the assessment of the water and sewer fees for the demand on the water and sewer systems. Impact fee is a more common term opposed to connection fee. So those are the definitions that we're looking at updating and amending. And as Jeremy said, we're also looking at trying to take the water and sewer fees and moving them to the budget ordinance. And another fee that we want to do is create I'm not the best public speaker, so please excuse me. Also, what we want to do when it comes to the actual water service installations is create a tier system, which is based on the scope of work that the city does versus the scope of work that a private contractor does that's hired by a developer. There would be 3 tiers and 3 separate fees. The first one would be if a developer hires a contractor to make the actual physical connection to the system, and the city provides the water meter only. That'll be one fee. That's tier 1. The second one would be if the contractor installs the actual connection, and we install the water meter and the meter box. That'll be tier 2. Tier 3 will be if the city installs 100% of the service line, being the physical connection, the water meter, and the box. The fees, we're still working on the dollar amounts for the fees, so they're to be determined.
Excuse me, may I ask a question, please?
Go for it.
So you'll have 3 tiers, 3 separate fees, all connected to the same thing.
Well, especially on the scope of work.
Excuse
A
me?
lot of the developers hire private contractors to do certain parts of the work, and the city does certain parts of the work. So what we're gonna do is separate the fees to create a lower fee for if the city just has to install the water meter and we don't do the actual main line tap and the private contractor does that, that'll be a lower fee. It's all based on the scope of work as far as what city staff does, opposed to what a private contractor does. How about a developer?
The more work a private contractor does, like in your home,
I'm just trying
then
to.
the less fees the customer has to pay.
Understand. Okay, I just wanted to get a better understanding on that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so deposit interest in the appeal process. So first things first is, you're probably wondering, what is deposit interest? Deposit interest is a simple interest on utility customer deposits. The deposits earn interest based on passbook savings rates. Deposit interest is credited to each customer annually while the deposit is held by the city. Deposits held less than 6 months do not accrue interest, so they're not involved in this. And the deposit plus interest is paid back to the customer. So there are 3 different ways that the deposit interest is paid back. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use you guys to help me with my scenarios because this stuff can be a little bit complicated. So the first is if an owner maintains good payment history over a 36-month period. So we're going to say Greg. Greg moves down here from New Jersey. Greg buys a home, and he wants to live in it. It's his primary residence. And after 3 years of good payment history, he doesn't miss a beat. We're going to give him his deposit back plus deposit interest. All right, the next scenario is this.
Very good, Greg.
Greg did great.
Good credit.
So at the second one is at the conclusion of a tenant closing the utility account. So let's use Greg again, but let's add Brenda. So let's say Greg moves down here, and Greg decides, you know what, not only do I have my primary residence, I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to rent one. So he buys one. He rents to Mayor Bethune here. So let's say that she's there for a year and decides, I'm going back to New Jersey. I miss it. So she moves back to New Jersey. So we're going to give her her deposit plus interest back. Third scenario, when a property owner who rents their property sells the property. Let's use Greg again. So Brenda's moved back to New Jersey. Greg says, you know what? This renting a property is for the birds. I'm not doing that anymore. I want to sell my property. So when he sells it, he gets his deposit back plus the interest. So those are the 3 scenarios. So you're probably wondering, well, that all sounds good. So why do you want to end it? First thing is it's time intensive and complicated. You know, I had to go through the scenarios with you to make sure you understand it. There's more to it on the back end, but we'll get to that a little bit later. The second part of that is it offers no real value to the customer. So what I mean by this is this. That most of the deposits plus deposit interest is actually paid back to the city for your final bill. So what happens in the case of Greg and Brenda is this. Let's say that they're going to move back or he wants to sell his rental property. You always have a final bill due. You never end service perfectly on the bill date for your last bill. You always have a final bill. It could be 10 days worth of consumption. It could be 20 days worth of consumption. It could be 30 days worth of consumption. You're always going to have a final bill. So what happens, and when I say 100% of the time, I mean it. 100% of the time, whenever somebody comes to the office or calls and says, I'm ready to terminate service, we say this. Would you like to use your deposit to help pay the final balance? They always say yes. Why would you? Not because you're just going to pay it one way or the other. If you cut you a check, you just give it right back to us. So what happens is that deposit and deposit interest is applied toward the final bill. So in essence, you really never get it back, okay? The last part of it is we are getting towards the end of our N4 conversion, and utility billing should be going live soon. This is one of the last builds that we have. This is a complicated build. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of logic. Can the implementer build it? Yes, they can. You give anybody enough time, they're going to find a way to build it. But I want to bring it before you to make sure and see if it's something you still want to do. I mean, we've been doing it for about 25 years. I think Mike Shelton's the one that introduced it many years ago. And let's just see if it's something we still want to do. So now let's look at the rates. Let's see where all this money is. All right. So this is the last 25 years. And these are all the deposit passbook interest rates that we've had for the city. As you can see, the highest has been about 1%, and the lowest is about 0.1%. So what are the averages? The 25-year average is 0.32%, or 0.3%. The current national average for a passbook savings account is 0.57%, so that's 0.5%. Our last 2 years are the highest that we've ever had for interest rates when it comes to savings accounts. They've been 1% and 0.75%, so they're well over the national average. So just to give you kind of some averages over the last 2 years, the average deposit interest for 2024 was 67 cents. The average deposit interest for 2025 was 54 cents. These are real-world examples this year of what we paid back to people, and this is going to be off scenario 3 that we did with Greg. Typically, the people that hold deposits with us the longest are somebody that is renting property. So a customer who had a deposit since 2004 closed his account in 2025 and received $2.19 of deposit interest. So that's 21 years, you got $2.19 back. Now, typically what happened, and what happened with all these examples is they used that to pay their final bill. The next is a customer had a deposit since 2003 and closed the account in 2025. They received $3.07 in deposit interest. That's 22 years. And finally, a customer who had a deposit since 2001 and closed the account in 2025 received $3.58 in deposit interest. That's 24 years. So you're probably also wondering, well, does anybody else do this? Does any other jurisdiction, water or sewer authority, use deposit interest? So what I did was I went out and I just asked the question. I contacted Mount Pleasant Waterworks. The answer was no. I contacted City of North Myrtle Beach. The answer was no. I contacted Somerville Commissioners on Public Works. The answer was no. I contacted Beaufort Jasper County Water and Sewer Authority. The answer was no. I contacted Charleston Water Systems. The answer was no. There was one, though, that did it, and that was a local, and that was Grandstand Water and Sewer Authority, and I'm guessing that's probably why we did it. We did something similar to what they did, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, the appeal process. So in Section 2110B of our current ordinance, there is a mention of the appeal process as it relates to a water and sewer bill. It is really vague and unclear, and it doesn't have a whole lot of direction. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to read you what I want it to say. So what it says in its current language is this. A customer has the right to appeal a water and or sewer bill to the Director of Finance. The Director of Finance will determine any adjustment, and the decision of the Director of Finance is final. Sounds pretty good. What we want to say is this. A customer has the right to appeal a water and or sewer bill to the financial director responsible for utility billing. The appeal must be written or in electronic mail format and must be submitted within 30 days of the current bill date. The director will determine any adjustment, and the decision of the director is final. This change gives us a little more clarity and structure. The first one has no start date or end date, doesn't tell you how to do it. It sounds to me like somebody could basically appeal a bill 30 years ago, and I have no leg to stand on. That's why we want to change that. Questions?
Can I make a suggestion there?
Absolutely.
Maybe change it to within 30 days of the disputed bill
Sure.
date, not the current,
Okay.
because it's always a current bill date.
I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Did you go to law school and we didn't know it?
No.
You see that at Holiday Inn?
I live with a lawyer.
Any other questions?
The plan is to put this up for first reading at the next meeting, which would be, I think, the 9th.
Correct.
And then second reading, I guess it's the 26th.
Correct.
So back to the deposit
Yes, ma'am.
interest. So that would not be getting rid of the deposit, just the interest part.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's exactly right. So the deposit always stands. This is such a transient area. We have to maintain deposits. people come and go all the time. Yes, the deposit will definitely stay, and probably maybe next year, we may even think about raising the deposits. The build and the idea behind the deposit was to cover 1 month's payment. Problem is, water and sewer rates have gone up. The deposit only covers about the base charges, that's it. So maybe we can look at that as well, but the deposit stands.
If you get your deposit back after 3 years, if you have a good payment history,
Yes, sir?
and someone went 25 years without getting their deposit back, does that mean they just couldn't?
Had bad payment history? No, that's a good question, too. So those are the scenarios. That's where it gets complicated. So the one you're talking about is, it's your primary house, you live there, you are good payment history, you get your money back.
So a rental, you don't get it back
No.
after 3 years.
So if you own that property and you're renting it to Ms. Bethune, when she moves out, she's getting her deposit plus the interest. She's going to use that, balance it forward to pay her final bill, but you have to keep your deposit until you sell it. That's the way it works. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
It is
All right,
complicated.
and if someone were to say, I want you to mail that back to me, how much would it cost for you to put a stamp on it,
Oh, Lord.
to print the piece of paper, the envelope?
It's more. The postage now, as you all know, has gone up. I think it's 72 cents now. I think it's going up again.
Is that what it is?
So there you go. I mean, if you got, let's say 10 cents back, you have just defeated the purpose.
Costs the city money.
That's right. That's right.
Any other questions? All right, very good. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, you did very well. That's everything that we have on our agenda as far as presentations. Does council have any questions about the agenda today? Anything you want to discuss before the meeting? Okay, we do have several executive session items. I don't know that we will be able to get through all of them in workshop, but we'll try. The first is to receive legal advice relating to an encroachment on city right-of-way in the Arts and Innovation District. Next is to discuss contractual negotiations regarding the 23rd Avenue PUD. Then we have a session to receive legal advice regarding changing the method of election of council members. And finally, to receive legal advice relating to property maintenance cases. We will invite Fox Simons, Will Bryan, Brian Tucker, Josh Bruger, Michelle Schumpert, Marla Bell. I don't think Marla's with us today, is she? No. Meredith Denary and Amy Newshafer. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Could I please have a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
Motion from Mr. McClure, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We have about 3.5 minutes until our meeting begins. Everyone, welcome to today's City Council meeting. We're happy to have you all here with us. We would ask if you would please silence your cell phones. And at this time, if you wish, you may rise and join council for the invocation led by Dr. Connor and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow our heads. Lord, as we pause and gather our thoughts and center our hearts as we begin this meeting, may we be guided by wisdom, compassion, and a shared commitment to the well-being of this community. Let us approach our decisions with clarity, fairness, and respect for all perspectives, working together to build a stronger and more united city. May our actions reflect our dedication to this city, to each other, progress, and the common good, fostering hope and opportunity for every resident that we serve. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council has had time to review today's agenda, and I will ask if there is a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made from Mr. Louder, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. May I also have a motion to approve our meeting minutes from August 12th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Dr. Connor, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. We have a proclamation today declaring August 31st, 2025 as Overdose Awareness Day. I think.
Chatting in the back about their event this week. Thank you, Chief Prock, and I have Robert Meany with us as well of the opioid team with the fire department. International Overdose Awareness Day is Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Whereas International Overdose Awareness Day is held annually on August 31st and is the world's largest annual campaign to end overdose. And whereas the city of Myrtle Beach is well aware of the harm and hardship caused by drug overdose, as we witness the daily effects upon individuals and families and the uncalculated cost in our community. And whereas International Overdose Awareness Day is a time for us to remember those who have died from drug overdose and to acknowledge the grief of family and friends left behind. And whereas we hereby resolve to do our part in reducing the toll of overdose within our community and to affirm that those affected are our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, all deserving of love, compassion, and support. And whereas the city of Myrtle Beach works closely with area partners to combat substance misuse, and together will host an Opioid Awareness Day event at Chapin Park from 5 to 7 p.m. Wednesday, August 28th, that's this week, to provide education resources and support for those affected. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Myrtle Beach hereby designates Sunday, August 31st as International Overdose Awareness Day and encourages everyone to use this day to raise awareness, share the hope of recovery, and connect with resources available in our community. Signed and sealed this 26th day of August, 2025. Robert, you want to come say a few words? I will.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Robert Meany. I work with the City of Myrtle Beach Fire Department Opioid Response Program. Thank you for having me here today. This is a really personal thing for me, is overdose awareness. Our team was created here in the city almost 2.5 years ago. Our team is made up of peer support specialists who are working with members of our community that are typically having problems with substance use or mental health disorders. And the idea behind the program was to reduce calls in the city for overdose, reduce death within the city of overdose. Last year, we were able to cut down from the previous year about 40% in overdose deaths within the city, a number that outpaced the state, which also did a wonderful job last year. We're proud of that, and we're proud of what we're able to do. I want to be able to thank all of you, the mayor, the council, city management, Chief Prock, Chief Tom Guire of the fire department for all the support that we feel and that we've gotten with this initiative. And our event is going to be in Chapin Park on Thursday, the 28th, from 5 to 7. It's been well attended in the past. There's a whole bunch of community resources there. We're excited about the event. I welcome anyone in the community to come. Most people in the room have been touched on some level from overdose and overdose death. Unfortunately, this has been a skyrocketing problem for a little over a decade. This last year was the second year, actually, for the state, but the first year for the city to see a decrease in those deaths. And we're working hard to try and make that happen again this year. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. All right, next we have recognition to the City of Myrtle Beach for volunteerism from Just Serve. And we're going to welcome Carolyn Lauterbach, and she will let us know everyone else she has brought with her, and we just invite you all to come forward if you wish, please. And our dear friend, Alan Clemens.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of council and staff, thank you for giving us this opportunity. This is a special day for us because we get to recognize the beautiful city of Myrtle Beach. Our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, subscribes to the proposition stated in Matthew 5. We should let our light shine. We believe that that means that we should be anxiously engaged in serving others. Service is no stranger to you, and we appreciate your service. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sponsors a platform to bring together organizations in need of volunteers and matching them with volunteers throughout the community. That platform is a web-based application that your city has embraced. There have been many projects sponsored by the city that has drawn volunteers through the Just Serve platform. And in fact, that platform has been used so much that today you are being recognized on behalf of the city of Myrtle Beach as a Just Serve city. I mentioned Matthew chapter 5. Further down in that chapter, it talks about a city on a hill and letting the light shine of that city. Truly, Myrtle Beach is a bright city, letting its light shine in the service of others. I'd like to introduce now the folks standing with me, behind me. We have Steve Davis, who is a member of the three-person leadership team of our church that leads the 9 congregations in this area. Along with Steve, we have Paula Mosley, who is the communications director for our area. We also have Kim Allen, who leads the women's organization for our church in the city of Myrtle Beach, and Laura Anderson. Laura drove in from the Charleston area today to be with us. She heads up the Just Serve activities in this part of the state. And last but not least, Carolyn Lauterbach, who is the Just Serve representative for the city of Myrtle Beach. And at this time, if I'm not overreaching, I would like to invite members of City Council and Madam Mayor, if you could join us down here so we could make the presentation directly to you and perhaps grab a picture afterwards.
And let us please thank you all first for what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
I did have a few words that I wanted to say, and Alan has already covered a lot of that, but I do want to say that we appreciate the city's support in volunteerism. You have done joined the National Extra Mile Day. You have a community ambassador program. You do the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. You have a community engagement office, and you have 9/11 Day of Service, partnering with Keep Myrtle Beach Beautiful group. And that's just a few of the things you do. I see that you've been recognized by the South Carolina DHEC with the Community Star Award for your efforts. And so Just Serve in the area has 31 organizations just in this area alone. And we've had over 115 local service projects in the last couple of years. And I have had the opportunity as the Just Serve specialist to work with them, and the people in this area are just great. Just Serve, if you didn't know, is also a worldwide effort, so no matter where you go, you can find a service project in that area to do. So today, I'm really thankful to recognize the city of Myrtle Beach with this certificate and offer this basket as to demonstrate how a partnership between the city and Just Serve will be a great benefit to the public, the people of Myrtle Beach. So on behalf of the Just Serve Global Director, and that is Heath Bradley, we present this Just Serve City recognition to Mayor Bethune and congratulate the mayor, the city council, and the entire city of Myrtle Beach for their leadership and the positive impact they have on promoting service in the community of Myrtle Beach. Thank you so much.
While you're going back to your seats, thank you very much. I would like to let you know, for those of you that are attending the League of Cities annual conference in Salt Lake City this year, if you'd reach out to me, I would be happy to arrange a private tour of Temple Square and perhaps a participation in a Mormon Tabernacle Choir concert. Wow. So if any of you are interested, please reach out to me. I think most of you have my number, but my email address is judgeclemens@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for being here. So that there is no fighting among council, there's one T-shirt in that basket. There are 7 of us, there's 7 days in the week.
What size is it? That's the question.
We will each take a day wearing it in.
7.
Okay. So now we don't have to fight over the shirt. And now we'll have our communications and creative services update.
Hey, City Council, Chastity Pendergrass here with your communications updates. Here at the beach, tides were high and so was the rip current risk as Hurricane Erin passed by well to our east. Public Works crews have been hard at work cleaning storm drains. This work is important all year, but especially now as we approach the peak of hurricane season. Construction on the new sidewalk on Oak Street wrapped up just in time for the first day of school. Next up for the project, 2 new pedestrian signal crossings, one at 29th Avenue North and one at 38th Avenue North. And now that school is back, we want to give a special shout out to our SROs for all their hard work to keep our schools safe. Be sure to check out our videos introducing each of the 4 Myrtle Beach SROs on our YouTube channel. The Myrtle Beach Convention Center unveiled the Serenity Spectrum Space last week. It's a quiet and comfortable room where people can unwind and relax. It's available for anyone to use. The Myrtle Beach Marathon is starting an elite runners program. The goal is to bring some of the fastest runners in the Southeast to run the race starting next year. City employees spent last week cleaning Futrell Park. This was the second annual cleanup event. Looking ahead, the 36-inch drainage pipe project begins September 2nd at the intersection of 5th Avenue North and Kings Highway. It will tie into the existing pipes going to the 4th Avenue North Ocean outfall. The water and sewer system along Flag Street will be upgraded, and so will other pipes and water taps as part of the project. Fire hydrants will also be added. The Waves of Praise Gospel Fest is back this week. It takes place Thursday through Saturday, August 28th through August 30th. Thursday's jump-off concert will be at Mount Olive AME Church on Carver Street. And the main festival on Friday and Saturday takes place at the Burroughs and Chapin Pavilion Place. The last weekly fireworks show of the summer takes place Wednesday, August 27th at 9 at the 2nd Avenue Pier. And Nights at Nance returns Thursday, September 5th at 6 in the evening with live music at Nance Plaza. Be sure to check out the Myrtle Beach Downtown Alliance's added event list for this fall. It's going to be a great season in the Arts and Innovation District. That's it for now. I hope you have a great rest of your week.
All right, thank you.
We
Okay.
have what we'll call a tag on to that. We have an exciting announcement coming to Warbird Park. I have Jim Forget with the Veterans of Crestwind coming up, and Chris Miller. So the Field of Honor will be coming to Warbird Park this Veterans Day, November 6th through 12th, and it'll come back Memorial Day and July 4th as well for America's 250th birthday. And I'll let Chris tell you all a little bit more about. We weren't going to pull it up for this, no, for the sake of time. But it's 250 flags. They're different versions of America's flag that have flown over the last 250 years. So it's quite literally a field of American flags. Each flag will have a flag tag that talks about what was going on in America's history that year that it represented our country. And the city is working with the Myrtle Beach Air Force Base Redevelopment Authority, which is why Buddy is here. Thank you, Buddy. And also the Veterans of Crestwind and the Military Appreciation Committee to bring this project to the city this year and in 2026. And we'll have the flags for future events as well. So if you want to ask any questions, Chris and Jim are here. If you want to add anything.
That is beautiful.
Just give you a little bit of history. This was brought to the city by the Crestwind Veteran Group. Had a meeting with Mr. Simons, and it was brought to our attention. And we felt that this was a good sponsorship that the city would like to participate in cooperation with Mr. Stiers and the Redevelopment Authority, we made it happen. Flags have been ordered, and we plan on having it up this year for Veterans Day. We own the flags. We can use them at any time, but we plan on Memorial Day and the 4th of July each and every year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the mayor's office and the council, and Buddy as well, for carrying this through for us. The land down there at Memorial Park is excellent. It's on Farrow Drive, has a wonderful view of a pond, so it's an ideal location next to the other memorials, and I think it'll stand us proud as a community. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much for bringing this to us.
Sure. Thank you.
Do we have any non-agenda items from the public?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we will move on to our consent agenda, please.
Good morning, Mayor and City Council. For this morning's consent agenda, you have two items for your consideration. The first item is motion 2025-58 to enter into a memorandum of agreement between the City of Myrtle Beach Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. This establishes the procedures and responsibilities of the City Police Department and ATF for overtime and pre-approved expenses. The other item is motion 2025-59, which is an MOU between the City of Myrtle Beach and the Family Justice System that we use for domestic violence victims.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve today's two consent agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. The first item on our regular agenda is Resolution 2025-21.
Resolution 2025-21, to express the intention of the City of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to cause to be reimbursed with the proceeds of hospitality fee obligations for certain costs associated with improvements related to the Myrtle Beach Pelican Stadium and other matters related thereto.
Michelle will have to do the technical stuff, but I'll give you a quick update on where we are. It's been interesting to me how many folks we've come across that have said, I bet you're glad you get that Pelicans lease finalized. I'm like, finalizing the Pelicans lease was the beginning of the process. So since you all finalized the lease, we've been moving ahead, working with the team and all of the team's team, contractors, engineers, architects, et cetera, doing the design work and the engineering work necessary. Last week, or I think it was last week, maybe week before last, we got final construction drawings submitted to Construction Services for permitting. So all of the PDL portion of that work is now in the city's hands for its normal permitting process, and hopefully we'll have those permits in hand shortly. As the baseball season comes to an end, that work will begin. We're also looking at some of the concrete work, spalling work that we will need to do related to the SKA work that we've all talked about at great length. So we're still moving ahead with that also, but I know you all aren't talking about it as much as you were, but we as a staff are still talking about it on a very, very regular basis and trying to get all of this work done before, or all of the necessary PDL work done before the beginning of the baseball season next year. Michelle's going to talk to you about the funding piece of that, and I can come back and answer questions related to the work itself.
In the past, we've talked about resolutions of intent and why we bring those to council. That they are resolutions that acknowledge the fact we intend to issue debt in the future and allow us to maintain a tax-exempt status when we reimburse ourselves later with bond proceeds. That is not the case with this particular resolution of intent. It won't be tax-exempt, so we don't necessarily need this resolution to move forward with the project. However, in full transparency, and because we always treat these type of projects in this manner, that we come to council and we talk to you before we sign those contracts, and we go full force in anticipation of a debt issue. We have chosen to put this in the form of a resolution of intent for council to adopt and acknowledge that we do intend to issue debt to pay for this later on down the road.
And this is the same thing that we intended from the beginning.
Correct. This is the $14 million, which is our 70%, that the county has still agreed to pay 30% of that for the PDL improvements, the same $20 million capped improvements that we have talked about from the beginning.
And this gives us the ability to pay ourselves back for the expenditures that we outlay prior to issuing the debt, even if it's not 100% required to have this. But that's what it would be if it were a tax exempt.
Correct. Correct. And as I said, just in full transparency and to be here with council and make sure we still have your acknowledgement and approval before we do this.
But this is not issuing any debt at this time. We will vote on that at another time, correct?
That is correct. This is in anticipation of issuing debt, which will still require 2 readings of any ordinance from this body before we actually issue that debt.
And Michelle, when we do issue that debt, will any property taxes go to pay for that debt, or will it primarily be from the lease that we receive, the monies we receive from the team, as well as hospitality fees, which is primarily from our visitors?
That is absolutely correct.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Smith. Second, I heard Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 2025-22.
Resolution 2025-22, to express the intention of the City of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to cause to be reimbursed with the proceeds of tax-exempt obligations for certain costs associated with certain improvements related to its water and sewer system and other matters related thereto.
Now, this resolution is like the ones that we typically do before we begin a project, at least to the extent that we want to preserve our tax exempt status before we spend money on this portion. What we're trying to do with this particular ordinance is fund the balance of Phase 2 of the 48-inch water line. Construction costs, like we've all seen and heard, have gone up. So there is a shortfall in funding for Phase 2. When we talked about water and sewer at budget retreat, we talked about the possibility of issuing up to $34 million of debt for FY26. We are still analyzing the rest of the projects that are being contemplated, deciding which ones we can move forward with and which ones we choose to postpone at this point. But we do need to move forward with the spending on the $10 million to finish up the 48-inch pipe. The ordinance, when it comes back to you, may in fact have additional projects. It just depends on where we are then. They'll be the same projects that were in the 5-year capital plan. It won't be anything new, no surprises, and they're the ones I discussed at budget retreat. But this is just to move us forward until we do nail down those final projects for this year and this issue.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2025-22?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. McClure, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council?
Michelle, why are we building a 48-inch parallel water line running from 33rd Avenue North to 62nd Avenue North?
I know Janet can answer this better than I can, but I think it really is an easy answer. The capacity need for water in the city due to growth has grown, and we are building this could be able to continue to serve our customers in the city of Myrtle Beach.
So would you say it's for the future to provide reliable water to the residents of the city of Myrtle Beach?
Absolutely.
So we're planning for the future?
We are.
Thank you. Any other discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Motion 2025-60.
Motion 2025-60 to reappoint 4 members to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee.
All right, the terms of Fleet Odom, Tim Fortson, Nina Miller expire on August 26, 2025, and John Peterson has resigned. Tim Fortson and Nina Miller, they do wish for reappointment. And as well as Mr. Odom. So all 3 do wish for reappointment.
No, ma'am.
No.
Do not wish.
Oh, okay. Hold on, let me start over. Tim Fortson and Nina Miller do not wish for reappointment. We are awaiting an answer for Mr. Odom. The chairman recommends appointing Shayna Pyle and Mary Kasherba to fill those seats, and Carl Yashulke to fill the unexpired seat. Pyle and Kasherba's new expiration date will be August 26, 2028, and the term of Yashukal, the unexpired seat, will remain on August 26, 2027. Mr. Odom does wish to be reappointed.
Yes, he
correct?
emailed yesterday that he does wish for a reappointment.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't mess that up too badly.
You did good.
So could I please have a motion for appointments and reappointments for the Bike and Ped Committee?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Mr. Odom and to appoint Shayna Pyle and Mary Kasherba to seats with expiration date of August 26, 2028, and Carl Yashulke to the unexpired seat that will expire on August 26, 2027.
Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion made from Mr. Smith, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any non-agenda items from the public?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Any communications from council or management?
I'd just like to bring one, you have something, go ahead. All right. Just to everybody's attention, over the weekend, down in the Market Common area, in the ballparks in that area, we had a resident bring to our attention some sidewalks that were in needed repair, with the understanding that you can't get it done immediately. But just wanted to bring that to our attention, which I thought, was very informative, and it also gave us an opportunity to flag where this particular area was, to put up a safety cone to alert other people. This happened on the weekend. But what did happen was all I had to do was make one phone call to our Assistant City Manager Bruger, our City Manager Simons, who at the same time was taking his daughter to college to move her in, and that very same day that cone got put up. That's first in service, so I want to thank everybody for that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Michelle?
Again, in the need to be transparent, I just wanted to remind council, I did not have a resolution of intent today for stormwater projects, which we will also bring to you sometime later this year to issue debt. And I did not do that because back in July of 2024, we already did that resolution of intent. And that was for our ocean outfall. We won't need to do another resolution of intent, but we will be coming back to you when we do these other debt issues to talk about stormwater.
Thank you. And just to let everyone know that last week, Chief Prock and Fox Simons and I went to Columbia to meet with the governor's office to discuss some ongoing concerns and issues with Department of Juvenile Justice, and that meeting went very, very well. And yesterday, we had a meeting, we actually hosted Dwayne Parrish with South Carolina Parks, Recreation, Tourism at City Hall, and talked about some of our upcoming funding requests that we will be going to the state for, and sharing some projects with him, specifically east of Kings. And gave him an update on where we are with the downtown master plan and our infrastructure project, which the state has invested in. So some good meetings taking place. And with that, I will ask if there is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made from Mr. Smith, second from Dr. Connor. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.